Let's move on to A19. West opens 4 hearts, and we get to 5 clubs. So we get the king of hearts lead. We have what appears to be quite a few losers. I mean, we have a heart loser and 2 diamond losers, you know, at the very least, to some extent. 10 of clubs could be an important card if clubs happen to be 4-0. Well, I don't think we want to duck this trick, so I will definitely start off by winning the ace. I mean, assuming East follows. If East roughs or something, we'll have more information. But okay, so East follows. Looks like hearts are 8-1, given by the 4 heart preempt. If we duck this trick, West just gives their partner heart rough, and there's no real squeeze in the pointed suits available to us that's going to gain 2 tricks in that scenario. I mean, we would have to avoid all the rest of the losers, given that we still have 2 diamond losers, and that's just not possible. So we will start by winning the ace. But now we'll need a minute to think. So, how can we possibly avoid losing 3 tricks here? I'm not sure I see the idea yet. I'm thinking about this, the possibility of trying to well, I really don't know. This is a bit of a stumper. Okay. Like, what sort of end position am I hoping to reach here? Like, imagine I can lose 2 diamonds somehow, like duck 2 diamond tricks. I'm having a hard time figuring out a plan. I mean, so I wonder if this is going to be similar to that deal from level 4. Almost a similar auction, in fact, where there was like a 4 of a major preempt on our left, and we ended up in 5 of a minor, I think. Or maybe we ended up in 5 hearts, I forget. But we eventually threw left-hand opponent in with their major suit, and then discarded twice from both hands on subsequent leads of that suit, so that we could then squeeze right-hand opponent in the minors, I think it was. So this hand has a little bit of a similar feel to that. My concern is it doesn't look like I get enough tricks by doing that. Like, imagine if I played West for 1-8-1-3 shape, and I pulled 3 rounds of trumps. I cashed the ace of spades and the ace of diamonds, and I exited a heart. West could win and play another heart, and I could pitch a diamond from both hands. Oh, I think this does work. So I think it works if I think this works if we can read the shape, and I mean, we're basically playing West for 1-8-1-3 shape. Now, is that like more likely than some other line of play I haven't thought of. I'm not sure. Yeah, hey Ewan. So I think what ends up happening there is East gets caught in something to the effect of like a entry shifting trump squeeze. I mean, it's not exactly that, but let's try and think about the end position that we get to, right? So East started with 6-1-5-1 shape, right? 2-8-1-2. 2-8-1-2 is not going to work. 2-8-1-2 will not work if West has that shape. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Maybe 2-8-1-2 does work. So could it be that we have to decide between those two shapes? Because I think, let me talk through what I'm thinking first if West is 1-8-1-3 in shape. Oh, no, we're effectively going to find out, right? Because West, we'll know the club count after we pull 2 rounds of trumps. Got it. But I think we can make against both shapes. Maybe we should figure out which one we're dealing with first. I think I could talk through the 1-8-1-3 distribution, but I think it's probably going to be more effective for us to figure out what shape West has first. Okay. So let's pull a couple of clubs, yeah? And if both opponents follow to 2 rounds of clubs, I think we can go ace, king of spades, ace of diamonds, exit a heart. I'm still just trying to wrap my head around this. Yeah, I mean, that seems correct to me. And if East shows out on the second club, we can pull a third club and then cash the ace of spades, ace of diamonds, and exit a heart. And I think East does get squeezed, but let's see what the club split is first. So club to the ace, king of clubs. East shows out. Okay, good. Because now we get to play for the much cooler line of play. I actually like this. Let's try and make sure we have a count on East discards for a second. So East has thrown a spade. Right. I think we're going to want to focus on East shape. So we can kind of ignore West's hand for a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull a third round of trumps. East has pitched a second spade, and this probably confirms the fact that East has started with 6 spades. Otherwise, it would be very clear we could just play ace, king of spades and ruff a spade to set up the suit. So we'll play 1 round of spades to strip West's spade. Now we'll cash the ace of diamonds to strip West's last card. I mean, we effectively know spades are 6-1. We know clubs are 3-1. We know hearts are 8-1 from the bidding. So we know where all the cards are. Now it's just going to be a matter of counting out the hand. We'll cash the ace of diamonds to strip West's diamond. And now we throw West in with a heart. East pitches another diamond. Another round of hearts comes. So we're going to throw a diamond from dummy. But if we were to rough this in our hand, we kind of like, things don't go our way. Because what do we do next? Well, if we go spade to the king, spade rough, we haven't set up a spade trick in dummy. East is still remaining with, queen jack 10 or whatever. And if we exit a diamond instead, then, which looks like we might be able to start setting up diamonds, East will win and play back a spade, and we just don't have the hand entries to rough out the diamond suit. So while technically East has come down to 2 diamonds already, we can't do anything yet. But when we discard a diamond on this trick and West plays another heart as they're forced to do so, we have to let go of the beer card. Sorry, beer. But now that East has come down to 1 diamond, we can rough in hand and set up our diamond with a ruff, get back here with king of spades and a spade ruff, and then the 4 of diamonds is good. So this is, I think this is actually a very cool and interesting variation on what I would call like a, what did I say, entry shifting trump squeeze. I don't know if people are familiar with that. I don't think we've seen one of those yet. I'm sure it will come up later in the in this level 5 set. But the mechanism kind of worked the same, right? Like West, upon continuing those hearts, forced East to make a discard, and then we needed to, read the position, figure out how many cards East had left in each suit to know whether we should set up diamonds or rough out the spades to set up spades and use a diamond rough to get back to North's hand. Kind of a cute little hand. I think seeing that level 4 deal from earlier helped me kind of come to this conclusion that it was a similar feel where we wanted to strip West and then exit to them and then discard on the first round of hearts to kind of rectify the count for some sort of unusual squeeze that was happening. But neat hand to start out with. Happy we got that one on the first attempt. So East opens a spade. We make a takeout double. North bids a no trump, and we get to 6 hearts. Wow. Normally you don't get to slam when the opponents have opened the bidding, but here we are. Oh boy. So spade opening lead. Well, if trumps split, if trumps split 3-1, we don't have a trump loser. We have no spade losers. We do have a club loser, although it looks like the suit might be frozen, or maybe we can throw someone in, like East, for example, to lead away from the club king. East was the one who opened the bidding, right? Yeah, East opened a spade. Obviously, if trumps are 3-1 and diamonds are 3-2, there's no issue. So our main focus should be trying to guard against that potential layout of the suits when one of those doesn't split. I guess the first plan is probably going to be to just rough the opening spade lead and test the trumps. We'll have a bit more of a sense of what we should be doing once we do that, right? Let me think about this for a second. What can I possibly do if diamonds are 4-1 and hearts are 3-1? Obviously, I could hope that the same player has singletons in both red suits. Quite unlikely, but I suppose possible. Is there anything I can do otherwise? Like, imagine if East has 3 hearts and 1 diamond. I guess that might be the simplest layout to take care of, if we even can. I'm kind of starting to notice that East, we might have a way to end play East. Let me think about this for a second, because I'm realizing that East can't really afford to rough any of our diamonds. Otherwise, they're out of trumps, so we'll be able to use the 3rd trump and dummy to rough the diamonds good, and at the same time East would effectively be end played into leading a black suit. Let's see if that's the situation that we're in. So I think we should definitely test the hearts. If trumps are 2-2, we have no problem. Wow, we are in this scenario where East has East has 3 hearts. So if East has 1 diamond, what's our plan? Because I'm thinking, like, if we go ace of diamonds, diamond to the queen, and East doesn't have any, if they ruff, it would be a big mistake. They would be end played into leading a black suit, getting rid of our club loser while simultaneously allowing us to set up the diamonds. And if East doesn't ruff, though, what do we do next? The issue is if I play a diamond to the king and East continues not ruffing, and then I ruff a diamond in north sand, East can now over ruff and exit the ace of spades. So that's no good. I feel like I have most of the puzzle, but I haven't fully figured out, like, the, what's the aha, got him moment? Where's the trick? Oh! Oh my god. I think the 10 of clubs is important. Yeah. Yeah, hey PJF. The issue with just playing on diamonds is East might fail to ruff. And so then, East will eventually over ruff when we try to trump the fourth diamond in dummy, but now we've lost all of our entries to North's hand, so they don't need to, they can just exit in spades. I think I see the idea. If we can ruff a spade in our hand and then play a fourth round of diamonds to throw West in while we discard a spade, now West is the one who gets end played. They don't have any more trumps to play, and they're out of diamonds. And dummy's out of spades, so we're going to be able to accept a rough sluff if West plays a second spade. So now West will be forced to lead clubs, and we can just play low and hope West has the jack. Essentially the club suit is frozen. So how do we want to execute this? If I go ace of diamonds, diamond to the queen, and East shows out, and I ruff a spade, and I play the king of diamonds, that's no good. I think I want to go ace king of diamonds and then a diamond to the queen. If East ruffs on any of these tricks, they're end played. But now that I've been able to cash 3 rounds of diamonds without East being able to ruff, I can then ruff a spade and play. Okay, I think this is actually a really clever plan. I don't know if this is what they're looking for, but I'm happy with the analysis. Okay, East doesn't ruff. They couldn't, right? Remember? Now we play a diamond to the queen. We ruff a spade, and we play a diamond, pitching a spade. So West is hopefully end played. I haven't been counting the spade discards. I actually don't know if, like, West could have played a spade into a triple void here. All right, looks like we did it. That was a, that was a really cool line of play. Cute hand, small extra chance against the 4-1 diamonds and the 3-1 hearts, and that's really what they wanted us to find. In practice, probably not going to need this line of play, but I think that's a kind of cute little idea. Additionally, it's always difficult to block suits on your own. Like, it feels very unnatural, at least to me, to play the diamonds, ace, king of diamonds, and low to the queen. But I think some of these hands in the level 5 deals, as I've mentioned before, once we had cashed 2 hearts and found out about the bad heart split, we kind of knew that the only layout we needed to protect against was 4-1 diamonds with East having the singleton. So that made the analysis a little bit easier to figure out. Ten of clubs did happen to be a big card. Cool hand. On to the next. West opens 2 hearts, and we get to 6 spades. Okay, a little bit less unusual when the opponents preempt, where we reach a slam. So Queen of Hearts lead. We have... oh my. We have some issues, don't we? Okay. Like, even if the Diamond Finesse wins, which I don't think there's any guarantee it will. I mean, West probably has an outside card of some sort for their 2-heart preempt. They don't just have Queen Jack 9-8 6th. I mean, they could easily have Queen Jack 9-8 7th, but I don't think they will in Bridgemaster. But a human player could be like 7-2-2 with Queen Jack of Hearts and out, or 7-3-2-1 even with Queen Jack of Hearts and out, and open at the 2 level. So I mean, what's our plan? If East has 3 spades, so like a simple line of play that I think is probably worth thinking about, because this could actually make the contract, is to play for spades 2-2 and the King of Diamonds on side. We win the Ace of Hearts, we take a Diamond Finesse, we pitch our heart loser on the Ace of Diamonds, we ruff a heart, we win the spade return, we ruff another heart. Assuming East only had 2 trumps, they're out of spades, we cross to the club ace and we pull trumps and claim. That is a line of play that will make the contract when spades are 2-2. And the Diamond King is on. So if we're going to take an alternative line, we need to find something that is better than that plan. And so what's the alternative? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the alternative? I mean, I could certainly go Ace of Hearts and lead a low heart. It doesn't help East to ruff this trick. So like Ace of Hearts heart, right? If East ruffs, we play small, and then now if spades are 3-1 with East having 3, we could go King of Hearts heart. We could pull trumps, go King of Hearts heart ruff, and then take a Diamond Finesse for our contract, which seems like, you know, a fine line of play. I mean, we at least make it when East has the Diamond King, similar to the other plan, but now we're actually good against 3-1 spades. But what happens if East doesn't ruff? That's what's a little concerning to me. So if East doesn't ruff, then we win the King of Hearts. Cool. But we still have these 2 heart losers in hand to deal with. I'm not sure I see the way forward. I mean, I guess this is like just as good if spades are 2-2, right? If East doesn't ruff, we win the King of Hearts, we pull 2 trumps, trumps are pulled, we ruff a heart and take a Diamond Finesse. So it's kind of the same, we make on the same layouts. I have the feeling, though, they want me to find a line of play that works when East has 3 spades. And I am not seeing it. Wait, I am seeing it. Okay, hold on. What if I win the ace of hearts, take a diamond finesse, and then just run all of my trumps? We come down to a 5-card ending. We have king 10 third of hearts and both minor suit aces. If we can work out West's exact shape, West is going to have to keep 3 hearts in the end position. So they'll only be able to have 2 cards in the minors. We're just going to need to guess which minor suit West has, essentially voided themselves in, so that we can then cash that minor ace, cash the other minor ace, and exit a low heart. West gets end play. Okay, this is actually a really good line of play. Happy that I paused for a second to figure this out. So we'll take a diamond finesse, and once this wins, now we can just run all of our spades. I'm going to have to do a little bit of guesswork to figure out what West's shape is. Okay, they pitch a heart, so they have 1 spade, 6 hearts. And what else? They pitch a club. They throw a second club. They've thrown the jack and then the king. I'm pretty sure West only has at most 1 club left. So I'm going to cash the ace of clubs. Okay, they now pitch a diamond, but now we know the remainder of West's cards. They have to be 1 diamond and 3 hearts. So we exit a heart, and West is then played into leading into our heart tennis at the end. Cute hand. Again. And I think, obviously this is some type of squeeze. I guess you could call it a strip squeeze without the count or something like that. But just being familiar with this concept of thinking about end positions and what you're going to come down to and what your opponents will have to hold. Now, it was very important that we cash the ace of clubs and not the ace of diamonds at the end. I think I will leave it as an exercise to viewers to figure out why, but kind of a neat hand. On to 22. So West opens 3 hearts. We take out double, we bid 4 spades, and here we are. We have a potential spade loser, very likely 2 heart losers given the 3 heart preempt. Potential club loser. No diamonds to lose. Well, I mean, 10 of diamonds looks like it's likely to be from shortness. I mean, it almost looks as if I should be able to end play West, right? I mean, maybe East has queen third of spades, in which case all of this is going to be moot, what I'm talking about. But if I think we want to cash the ace king of spades. If spades, that is the percentage play to lose no spade tricks, and if we lose no spades, we're cold. So, if you have a line of play where like you can take the percentage in the trump suit, and if it works, then you make your contract, that feels pretty good. But if West turns up with queen third of spades, we're also cold, because now we can go king of diamonds, diamond ruff, club to the ace, diamond ruff, and exit a spade, and West is end played into giving us an extra trick in a round suit. I mean, like, we have at most 4 losers on this hand, right? West could have the queen of clubs, in which case we have a club loser. West could have the ace of hearts, and spades might not split. So, as long as we strip the diamond suit before whatever else it is that we're doing, we're going to be in great shape. Now, obviously, if East turns up with queen third of spades, we need to think about a new line of play. Hey, Brad. So I think first things first, let's cash the ace king of spades and find out what's going on. Oh. Yes, I see. That is that is something that we were hoping wasn't happening. New plan. Yes, new plan. Okay. Well, I guess they weren't planning to make it that easy, right? Because that would have just been like a strip and end play deal. I said cash the ace and I did. But we're already on to plan B. Plan B has started to take form even before we've completed plan A. And talking through multiple tricks constitutes a claim. You're right. I should restart. We'll count it as a loss. So I'm still tempted to try this plan of like somehow throwing West in with now maybe the heart ace. So what happens if I duck a heart right now? Let's suppose he switches to clubs. We can win the club ace. I need to... figure out how I'm doing all of this if West gives me a rough slough by leading a third round of hearts eventually. So my plan basically is to strip the hearts, eventually throwing West in after I've roughed out the diamond suit, and then West will have to either give me a rough slough in hearts, so I'm going to need trumps and dummy, or they're going to have to lead into my king jack of clubs. It feels like I should duck a heart right now, but I mean, maybe I need to go king of diamonds, diamond rough first. I'm thinking. You managed to make the bean cup Swiss interesting by making a giant comeback in the last couple of rounds to put yourself in contention for winning. I assume that's what you mean. Okay, let me just walk through a line of play, right? King of diamonds, diamond rough, low heart. Let's say East wins and puts a club through. I win the ace. I rough a diamond, and I exit a heart. I think this works. It's hard to look through all of the possibilities, though, because East doesn't have to win the heart. East doesn't have to switch to clubs. Diamonds could be splitting badly. I mean, East might discard a club at some point and get a club rough. I really haven't like fully thought this through. Okay. Brad just needed to follow suit to win, but he was unable to do so. You got caught in revokes in robot tournaments. I think you should report that bug to BBO. That sounds like a dangerous thing that they're going to have to look into. Okay. King of diamonds, diamond rough. Low heart. I mean, this looks good to me, and I think I do need to start roughing diamonds now because I need to shorten myself for the potential of a trump coup. I'm not sure if trump coup is the right word to phrase it, but if West plays a third round of hearts. So I think I do need to play the hand this way. Low heart. Club to the ace. Let's make sure I'm not doing something dumb. Now we exit another heart. West is end played. So they can play into the triple void. But now, okay, we have a full count on the hand at this point. He started with 2 hearts, 4 spades, 4 diamonds, and therefore 3 clubs. So I can rough with the spade king, pitching a club. I can cash the club king and then lead a spade to the jack. Come on, man. The queen of clubs is on side the whole time. I don't believe it. Okay. Just for the sake of making sure that I had to go through all of this nonsense, I want to look at their solution and see if the club queen is actually on side. God, I hope their solution wasn't just like, oh, once spades are 4-0, you just need the club finesse. That would be really disappointing. No, okay, club queen is offside in their example. So 10 of diamonds lead, South cashes a top spade, West discards. West preempt marks him with a 7-card heart suit. I mean, I would say at least 5. Definitely at least 5 hearts over there. Almost certainly headed by the ace. I mean, likely, but, you know, not guaranteed. Looks like South will need the club finesse. South can guard against West being 0-7-3-3 with the heart ace and club queen without any risk. Couldn't I also have guarded against West being 0-7-4-2? I thought I was guarding against West being 0-7-4-2 by roughing that 4th diamond. I'm pretty sure I was. That was my whole reason for like cashing an extra diamond. Brad just always pretends the opponents are second seat unfavorable. Does that necessarily make you want to preempt more, though? Because they're going to be a bit more conservative, so you don't need to get involved with hands that are borderline. We rough a diamond, exit the 4 of hearts. I mean, this is exactly what I did. Win the ace of clubs. North's last diamond is roughed. Okay, so yes, they also guard against 0-7-4-2 shape with West. Exits the king of hearts. Exits the king of hearts as East wins to put another club through. Wouldn't that be such a got 'em play? Okay, anyway. On to the next. We did it. 23. We are in 3 no trump. We get the king of diamonds lead. West opened a spade. We got a takeout double, and we got to 3 now. Okay. Let's see what happens in the diamond suit before we do anything else. King of diamonds. Ace of diamonds. And the 4 of diamonds. Ugh. Oh my god. I know what this hand is. This hand is an entry squeeze. That's amazing. These are things that really don't come up in real life. Okay, let me see if I can describe what's going to happen. I'm going to do a terrible job of this because I just don't have experience with them in like the real world. Okay, so we're gonna need West to effectively have like everything, I think. Is that true? I'm not sure. Hold on. How many cards do I come down to in the end position? Let's play the Jack of Diamonds. Obviously, he plays the Queen. So we know the King of Hearts is on side. The big issue here is that we just don't have enough entries to South's hand to take enough heart finesses if West happens to have King 4th of Hearts. So let me figure out what I'm discarding. I assume I should be pitching 2 clubs, but let me think about this for a second. So we pitch 2 clubs. East is going to return a spade, I guess. We can win the king and dummy, and we unblock the ace king of clubs. And I mean, assuming West shows out on that trick, we kind of know the entire hand. West is then going to have 1 club and 3 diamonds. They have 5 spades for the opening bid, and therefore they're likely to have 4 hearts to the king. But the only issue, actually 3 hearts to the king is the main issue, right? Because we only have, it looks like 1 entry to the south hand is what we have. Yeah, okay. So the end position we're going to reach, basically. Maybe it's a little better to... No, I should probably talk about it now because I want to explain why we're discarding clubs and giving up on the possibility of a 3-3 club split. We know from the opening bid that West has to have the heart king. I mean, they've turned up with only the ace king of diamonds, and they could have at most the jack of spades, jack of clubs outside. That would be a 9 count. I mean, doesn't look like the type of hand that you would open a spade, missing all the top spade honors in first seat. Even if you had like a 6 spade or a little bit of distribution. So therefore, we know the heart king is on side, and if West has at least 5 spades, we can actually guarantee the contract whenever West has 5 spades and the heart king. But this is going to come down to kind of a really unusual type of squeeze, which I don't think I've ever seen in actual play. It's called an entry squeeze. And if we had a bunch of entries to South's hand, like imagine our spades in South were ace king third, upset queen third, we could basically just claim, right? We pitch a club here, East continues a diamond, we pitch another club, we unblock the clubs, play a spade to the ace, take a heart finesse, spade to the king, take a heart finesse, well, use the queen of clubs to pitch a heart loser, and dummy's good. But we don't have enough entries. Now, it is important to note that this 2 of spades getting back to our hand might be an entry if we were able to somehow make West discard all of their spades. So let's look at what happens as we play out the hand. So East is going to cash another diamond and switch to clubs. Oh, West, in fact, threw a club. Okay, so we actually know West's shape to some extent. They pitched a club on the 4th round of diamonds, and now they've shown out. So they discard the 7 of spades. We'll cash the king of clubs. They discard the 8 of spades. So we expect West might now be down to 4 hearts and 3 spades in their hand. It's a 7-card end position. King of spades. We take. Right. I'm trying to decide if I should just like play the next 2 tricks or talk through what's going on. Let's imagine we were in our hand right now and we elected to play the club queen. Think about what happens to West's hand, right? We know they're down to 3 spades and king 4th of hearts. If they discard a heart, we can, almost pitch anything from dummy, but then we'll be able to lead the 10 of hearts for a finesse, take another heart finesse, and all 4 of our hearts are going to be good whenever the king is on side. Because West will, whoever has the 9 of hearts, it doesn't really matter. The 8 of hearts will eventually be good on the 4th round. If instead West were to discard a spade instead of a heart, keeping their 4-card heart holding, then we know both opponents are down to 2 spades, and we'll actually be able to use the 2 of spades to get over to the 3 in our hand. So the next couple of tricks, we're going to play the king of spades, and then we're going to lead the queen of spades to the ace. And now that East has followed to 2 spades, we know exactly what the shape of the hand is. So we get to lead the queen of clubs. West dumps the jack of spades, preserving their 4-card heart suit, but this makes our job a little bit easier. I think it would have been more instructive if West had held on to their spade. Then we would ditch the 2 of spades, which we've established as a loser. So we kind of squandered a trick here, establishing an extra loser in spades. But West has been forced to give us that trick back because of the squeeze that has just happened. So now we can pitch our heart, but with the 4 of spades preserved as an entry, we can now take the heart finesse safely, cross back to the 4 of spades, take the heart finesse again, and score the last trick with the ace of hearts. It's definitely a very cool type of squeeze. Again, maybe this has come up in real life and I just haven't noticed it, or I've been on defense and the opponents haven't noticed it. I think it's just so rare that you probably will never see it anytime that you play bridge other than in these constructed puzzle type positions. Nonetheless, just being familiar with these kinds of squeezes will allow you to recognize them, so I think it's probably a useful thing to learn if you're interested in card play. Anyway, cool hand. These are getting a little more fun as we get towards the higher numbers. We've had an entry squeeze, we've had, a whole variety of other types of hands as well. Lots of bidding here. So the cowards we are, with 5-4 in the minors and an 11 count and a bunch of spot cards, we didn't open this hand. That's just insane. 2 passes, West opened a diamond, East bid a spade, and now we're in 3 clubs. Ace of diamonds lead. It almost looks like we just need to guess the clubs. I wonder if that's true, because I suspect the opponents are going to play 4 rounds of diamonds. Let's see if that's what actually happens. Okay, they do play 4 rounds of diamonds. So, it looks very natural to me to just discard a heart. But let me think. Because if I pitch a heart, the only way that we go down is if East is 5-5 in the majors, which I guess is possible, and West has queen third of clubs. We know East has at least 5 hearts because West opened a diamond and not a heart. So yeah, East is basically 5-5 in the majors, at least, and they've turned up with 2 diamonds so far. So they have 1 club, which I guess means we actually need to rough this trick. With the 10 of clubs. We can pull 2 rounds of trumps, but then we can go ace, king of spades, spade rough, which strips West spades. That's kind of the reason why they gave us this. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, eventually we're going to strip West spades. The diamonds have been stripped. West will be down to queen third of clubs, and we can exit a club, hopefully getting them to lead away from the king. The king of hearts, that is. Let me think about that, though, because East turned up with no diamond honors, not the club queen. Assuming I'm taking this line of play of roughing with the 10. They have turned up with the jack of hearts, but would East be responding with queen, jack, 10, 5th of spades, jack, 10, 5th of hearts? I would. I just don't know if this East would. Anyway, I think I like this line of play. If they don't like it, we'll go back to the drawing board. I haven't considered what we could do if East actually happens to have the heart king. Maybe the answer is nothing. But anyway, let's give this a try. So we rough. We'll pull a couple rounds of trump, And now we're just gonna exit to West, who will hopefully be endplayed. Am I winning? I am doing my... Oh, no. That's not good. West turned up with the spade queen. Now I don't think this is working. Okay, back to the drawing board. I liked my line of play, but... Real question is, are you winning, Marksman? Because I hear that Brad, being the complete fish that he is, has fallen a bit in the Bean Swiss. Let me think about this for a second. We know East has 5 spades. I mean, we could alternatively have squeezed East in the majors. Obviously, that's what they want us to do. I'm still not sure I like that plan over what we tried. I mean, West just got thrown in to lead a heart away from the presumed king. Obviously, when West turned up with that queen doubleton of spades, I was a little bit upset. That made it pretty clear that that what we had done is wrong, because then East was just sitting on a couple of jacks. But okay, we do want to be a little bit careful about how we handle our entries here. It's going to be important for us to duck the second round of clubs, so that when West does switch to hearts, okay, they switch to the queen of spades, we will have an entry back to our hand. Cashing the ace of hearts there was just a Vienna coup. And so the simple squeeze here, we just need to watch for that heart king. It hasn't turned up, so hopefully all of our spades are good. I don't know. I mean, this felt like a bit of a guess. They wanted us to guess one way, we guessed the other way. It's just kind of a 50-50. I'm sure, I'm sure Kevin Rosenberg is going to give a comment. He has been commenting on everything I've done wrong throughout the entire sets, which, by the way, I appreciate Kevin. Totally on board with all of that. But he'll probably look at this hand and tell me that, oh, of course, East must have the king of hearts. We'll see whenever this gets posted. On to board 25. We're in 4 hearts. There's been a lot of bidding. A heart, 2 no, both minors. 4 hearts. We get the 10 of spades lead. To the ace. We have a lot of stray jacks that I'm not sure I see the point of yet, but let's think about this. We're only in 4 hearts. I mean, I have the feeling that West is going to rough the spade return. Well, let's get to that point, and then we'll see what happens next. Okay, West has roughed the spade return and played a second heart. So we know the entire shape. We probably have a pretty good guess as to the distribution of the hand, or the distribution of the honors, missing honors. So what does that mean? I'm gonna lose the ace of diamonds, and I can't afford to lose any more tricks. This must be some sort of like complicated timing issue thing. Maybe? Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe this is actually an entry shifting trump squeeze. It looks like it probably is, right? Yeah, so how do we want to time this? So basically, this is going to look fairly similar to, where was it? Hold on. I'll find it, I'm sure. We're going to continue going backwards. Where was this thing? It wasn't 4 spades. It wasn't 6 spades. Was it 6 hearts? No. 5 clubs? Ah, yes, the 5 club hand. Okay, all the way back on board 19, way at the start of the set, where, you know, it's like East is the one who's kind of guarding two suits that we could potentially try and rough out, and we're going to somehow force them, so in this case it's going to be West, we're going to force West to commit to which suit they want to hold on to while we're in the process of deciding where we want to win a trick ourselves. So that's kind of the idea, right? And that's the idea we're going to have to work with. So obviously, like, we expect West to have King, Queen, Fifth of Diamonds, as well as Ace, Queen, or sorry, King, Queen, Fifth of Clubs, as well as Ace, Queen, Fifth of Diamonds. Now, the fact that West has already showed us their distribution has made this a little bit easier, and it's going to be very important for us to win the Ace of Hearts on this trick, because eventually the kind of mechanism that we're going to be working with here is going to be, we lead the Queen of Hearts at some sort of pivotal point. West is going to have to commit to which minor suit they want to unguard, and depending on which one they decide to unguard, we'll be able to either play low from dummy, winning it in a hand, and then start roughing diamonds, or we'll be able to overtake with the King of Hearts in the north hand and then start roughing clubs. So to make sure that we've preserved the possibility of winning the second round of hearts in both hands, that's why we need to win the ace on the first round of the suit. And then beyond that, I mean, it's just kind of getting to the required end position, which I think I can do. I'm going to spend a second or so trying to play out these tricks. So if I play a diamond to the king right now, and West wins, and they play a diamond, I rough, I would go like spade to the king, Queen of Hearts. Is this working? I need to think about this for a second. I assume it does. I'm just let's think about that plan, right? So diamond to the king, West wins. Let's say they play a club. Did I say they played a diamond before? They play a club, right? We'll win the club ace, pitching a diamond. We will rough a club. We'll cash the king of spades. And so now we're down to a 6-card end position. So we presume West has 3-3 in the suits. I feel like I'm maybe a trick behind. I could rough a diamond and rough a spade as well. I think this works, but let's figure it out. So king of clubs, we will win the ace and pitch a diamond. We can play a spade to the king. West has thrown a diamond now. We can rough a diamond, rough a spade, or can I just play the Queen of Hearts right now? Okay, so what is West down to? They have 3 diamonds and 4 clubs. If I play the Queen of Hearts right now, they don't really get squeezed. So we do want to rough a diamond and then rough a spade. And now West is forced to come down to Have I been counting correctly? I thought West had already come down to 3 diamonds. Oh, I also just don't have enough entries to pick up King, Queen, Fourth of Clubs. I feel like I've botched this a little bit. So what went wrong here? I didn't rough a club when I was in dummy. This is so complicated. Okay, let's start over. We have the general idea. I just very bad execution. So we win the heart ace. I mean, we kind of know the end position we want to get to, which is like the same number of trumps in both hands. And that was, I think, where I kind of faltered here. I just didn't rough enough things in my own hand. So the king of clubs comes back. We pitch a diamond. Now we ruff a club. Okay, this is a lot better. And now we play the king of spades. West threw a diamond. We ruff a diamond, ruff a spade. West has pitched a diamond, and now we're in the... Finally, we got there. Okay, so West is down to 2-2 in the minors. They have queen doubleton of diamonds, queen doubleton of clubs. We lead the queen of hearts, which has completely frozen my my game. We're doing great. Oh boy. Okay. Spade to the ace. Spade, rough. But now that we've gone through this like 3 or 4 different times, we're going to be really on board with the end position we're trying to reach. Important to note that if West had returned a diamond here, we would effectively just have to take the finesse, hoping that West had the queen. So king of clubs to the ace. We ruff a club. We cash the spade king. We ruff a diamond. We ruff a spade. And now we're down to this 4-card end position. So again, West is down to queen doubleton in both minor suits. We lead the queen of hearts. And you can kind of see now that when West pitches a club, we want to play the king of hearts. This pulls the last trump. We can then ruff the clubs good, ruff the diamond back, and the jack of clubs will be a winner. If West had instead discarded a diamond, we would play low. We're left in hand with the diamond suit. We could then ruff a diamond, ruff a club back to hand, and the jack of diamonds would be good. So this is... Did I miscount? See, I thought West had pitched all of their diamonds. I was pretty sure West had pitched all their diamonds. No, dude. I think I did count it right earlier, but I second guessed myself because I was like, why would they just make it so easy? I do like, though, that they're trying to teach you that even with these squeezes, you do need to count. Okay, let's try and actually count what's going on. So West is down to 4 clubs and 4 diamonds. We have 8 cards left. 3 clubs and 4 diamonds. 3 clubs and 3 diamonds. 3 clubs and 2 diamonds. Okay, they're down to 3 clubs and 1 diamond. They've already abandoned the diamond suit. So it's a little bit sad right now that West, I think, has made this a little bit easy for us because we could actually, we don't even need the mechanism of the entry shifting trump squeeze. We can just ruff with the king of hearts right now and then pull the last trump and our hand is good. This is why I was hoping that they hadn't done that, I guess. But counting is very useful. But yeah, hopefully people have understood this entry shifting trump squeeze type thing as the position dictated. I'm really sad that West didn't come down to the right shape so that we could really show it off. Anyway, we made it. I was pretty sure that happened on a previous layout where I had already screwed up the play, but I still could have made it by just roughing the diamonds good. Anyway, we're here. I did show it off, which is kind of cool. That's the important thing, right? We got another 2-0 overcall. Need to count once again. Heart by South. Don't we have a no trump opener? Whatever. It's no problem. We're opening 5-card majors. Otherwise, West wouldn't have been able to show their 2 suits, right? Wink, wink. 2-0, 4 clubs, whatever that means. We get to 6 hearts. Here we are. Jack of spades lead. Huh. Well, let's first see if East covers this trick. East does not cover the Jack of spades. This seems like one of your lesson plans. You eventually get to the right solution. That's not bad. As long as you get there. As long as people are having fun and learning something along the way, maybe. It's all good. It's very tempting to just duck this trick, but let me try and articulate why. So if hearts are 4-0, we just have no chance. There's nothing we can do. But if hearts are 3-1, which I think they are, I mean, it looks like, because East would probably overtake the Jack of Spades with the King to not give us the possibility of ducking trick 1 if they had 4 spades. So that's why I think West probably has 2 spades and therefore 1 heart. I believe we should be able to set up the spade suit. Oh, you're just like, oh, yeah. They have a 15 count, but I really want them to open a diamond, so I'm going to force it. Yep, that can happen. So if I play low here, what does West do? Let's say they switch to clubs. We win the club ace. We play ace of hearts and a heart to the king. West shows out. We take a spade finesse. We unblock the spade ace. We pull the last trump. We pitch a diamond and a club. We rough it. I mean, it looks pretty straightforward. So what am I missing? I mean, maybe East just didn't cover at trick 1. Spades could be 4-0. Like, I suppose if East had played the king, they might have been worried that we could set up the spades by like running the 8 on the second round of the suit. That could make sense. Okay, what do we do against 4-1 spades then? So probably still duck the trick. West continues clubs, right? We win the ace. We cash the heart king. Yeah, let me think about this. So what if we duck this trick, we win the ace of clubs, we rough a club, I guess. I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. We cash the king, queen of hearts. West shows out. We take a spade finesse. We take the spade ace. We rough another club. We rough a spade to set up the suit. We pull trumps, and then our last spade is good to pitch our diamond. That looks like a pretty good line of play to me. I'm not sure if there's something I can do better, but I think we're going to go with it. So we win the club ace. I said we rough a club. It probably doesn't matter the order we do this stuff. We pull 2 rounds of trumps. West presumably is 1-1 in the majors, but I mean, we just have a claim. Was this really a level 5 deal? Maybe. I don't know. I guess this concept of just like ducking at trick 1 is so natural to me. It's just good technique that it comes up often enough that you can work on it. Yeah, the feel when you don't know if it's a level 5 deal or not. I don't know. It's obviously if we win the queen of spades at trick 1, we're going to go down because we just like can't time everything in the right way. But it felt like once you took the the right play at trick 1, it was just pretty easy to play out the rest of the hand, rough the clubs good, or rough the clubs, set up the spades. Take you an hour to figure out? I'm sure you could do it. Probably a little bit faster. It is obviously not like a very straightforward hand. You can't just pull trumps and claim. But that concept of ducking the first round of a suit to allow yourself a bit more flexibility in setting it up is a very useful one. What was the auction here? No bidding. We get to 6 hearts, we get the queen of diamonds lead, and East plays the ace. That already makes me think about squeeze possibilities because West is the one who has the diamond guard. I'm wondering if it would have been more difficult if East had played low on this trick. Well, let's play low. So we win the second round of the suit. I assume we're going to have to pull trumps. We should do that. We want to think about what type of squeeze we could play for. So with West having the diamond guard, if East happens to have the spade guard, so if East has 5 spades, we could play this hand as a double squeeze, which could make sense. I mean, that looks like the most sensible to me, but let me think about this, because if East has 5 spades, East had the, where's the auction? East had the possibility of overcalling a spade over a club. I mean, obviously West also had the possibility of overcalling a spade over a club. And they've already turned up with the ace of diamonds. Like, maybe they just can't possibly have 5 spades. Is there an alternative, though? That's what I'm wondering. I think the answer is no. This doesn't, I mean, so there are certain things called compound squeezes that operate in a manner similar to a double squeeze, but it kind of, it like both opponents can have guards in multiple suits. I haven't seen it in a very long time, so let me think about that for a while. Let's suppose I cash, I mean, I'm always going to cash 5 hearts. I just need to decide what I would pitch from dummy. I assume a spade. So what happens if East and West both have guards and spades and clubs? West is going to have to unguard one of the black suits, right? They can't keep both in a 6-card ending. They can't keep all of the jack of diamonds, 3 spades, and 3 clubs. So they'll have to unguard one of those suits. If West unguards clubs, I think actually, yeah, this is a compound squeeze, right? That's how this one works. Okay, let's just cash 5 hearts, because I think things will be a little bit easier to explain once we get to that spot. But hopefully people understand what I mean when I say if I run 5 hearts, we get down to 6 cards, and West can't guard both black suits. We're going to have to guess which suit black, or which black suit West is unguarded. But hopefully we'll be able to figure that out. Okay, East pitches a club. That's good information. Normally people don't pitch from 4-card suits. They'll tend to pitch from 5-card suits here. So maybe East has 5 clubs. East throws a diamond, as does West. East throws a diamond, so there's only one more diamond out. West pitches a club. We play a heart. We pitch a spade from North's hand. And East also throws a spade. Okay. So we do have to guess what's going on at this point. And I actually don't have a good sense of how I should be guessing this. This is where it's just like, you know, this kind of feels random. But what's happened already is that West has 2 cards in one of the black suits. Let's pretend it's spades for a second, so we can talk through both possibilities. If West has 2 cards in spades, if we play our last heart, West just pitches a spade, right? We have to make a discard from North's hand, and no real squeeze is operated, right? Like, we could, of course, pitch a diamond, but then when we play a diamond to the king, a spade to the king, spade to the ace, West has an extra diamond to discard because the 10 of diamonds is not a threat. And if we instead pitch a club, we don't have this like double squeeze threat potential anymore. So playing a heart doesn't really work here. If we were to instead, though, cash the king of spades and a spade to the ace and then play our heart, then the double squeeze does operate, right? Our last spade is a threat against East, the 10 of diamonds is a threat against West, and so neither one of them can hold on to 3 clubs in the end position. We lead the 9 of hearts, West pitches a club, we let go the 10 of diamonds, East pitches a club, our clubs run. So that's the basic double squeeze. But what happens if instead West had discarded clubs? Well, in that case, we would need to cash the king of clubs and then a club to the ace first. And then when we lead the 9 of hearts, once again it's a double squeeze, this time with spades being the middle suit. So we lead the 9 of hearts, West pitches a spade, we pitch the 10 of diamonds. East, of course, can't afford to throw a club, so they pitch a spade as well. I think given the discards, like East has pitched 1 club and West has pitched 1 club. I originally said I thought East was likely to have 5 clubs for that discard, but I'm now starting to think that both opponents have come down to 3 clubs because we've seen a handful of spade discards. So I think I am going to cash 2 spades and then play the heart. Again, this is all just like guesswork at this point. Okay. And so the double squeeze worked. They were forcing me to count the cards, but this time I actually did. Yeah, kind of a cool type of squeeze. This one probably does come up in practice often enough that it's worth learning, or often enough that it's worth like having some sort of knowledge of this idea of a compound squeeze. Yeah, counting cards is a common way to win hands. I agree. On to 28. 7 spades in the south. Can't lose a trick, so no ducking trick 1. Jack of hearts lead. No bidding from the opponents. I mean, this hand almost looks vaguely familiar as like that triple squeeze that we saw. I think it was level 4, where we had to like Vienna coup multiple aces from North's hand. I don't think that's what's going on here. I am tempted to try and play this hand as like a trump squeeze in clubs and hearts. Ducking trick 1 is a little bit of a Giga Chad move. I agree. Okay, why does no one use emotes? Don't I have the Giga Chad emote on? Yeah, I do have the Giga Chad emote unlocked. I guess it's just like a bridge player thing. No one likes... You don't know all the emotes? No, it's totally cool. We were just having a discussion the other day, me and Brad, because, what was it Brad? No, it was Steph. Steph also doesn't like using emotes. Okay, let me think about this. So trump squeeze, the idea would be to win the ace of hearts, I mean, which I guess we may as well do right now. Eventually unblock the diamond ace, run all of our trumps, come down to king, singleton, king of hearts and dummy, and king, queen, 4th of clubs in hand. We're going to have ace doubleton of clubs in hand, 2 hearts, I guess a diamond and a spade or something like that. And neither opponent could hold on to a doubleton heart as well as 5 clubs. 5 clubs? Yeah, wouldn't it be a pleasant surprise if clubs simply split 3-3? I mean, it would be. That would be great. We only need them to be 4-2 though, right? Because we can rough the clubs good. But the whole point about the trump squeeze is that we can still make against 5-1 splits as long as someone also has 5 hearts. I'm just thinking, like, is there is there an alternative? The issue that we had on that previous hand was that simple squeezes really just didn't work because we didn't have enough entries to the south hand. Like once we roughed out the club suit and were able to cash the last club, I guess this is the line of play I'm going to go for. I think I talked through the end position incorrectly, but this feels like I have a slight extra chance when clubs are 5-1. I mean, obviously, we still make against all 4-2 club splits because in the end position, we're just going to go ace of clubs, club to the king, club ruff, cross to the king of hearts, and then run the clubs. Yeah, in real life, everyone's playing for clubs to work, but like the thing is, we're always making against 4-2 clubs on this plan anyway. Obviously, like, I wouldn't be doing this if we were just like going down when clubs are 4-2 and we only make when clubs are 5-1. That would be insane. But this is like a small extra chance, and I think that's what they want us to look for on this hand. So I just want to make sure I do things in the right order. Like for fear of them roughing the first round of diamonds with, the no bidding that has happened. So I think we can pull 2 rounds of trumps. Spades are 3-1. We can pseudo Vienna coup the diamond ace. I mean, it's not to like set up a diamond potential loser in hand, but it is just to cash the trick so that while we run the spade suit, everything works out fine. East pitches the queen of hearts, which is good news for us. West has thrown a heart and another heart. I think my hearts are good, but I haven't necessarily been paying attention. I mean, I do know that West has not pitched a club, right? I'm pretty sure. Apparently I'm supposed to make against this layout. Let's try this one again. Okay, let's try this one again. That felt like a slightly better chance than just playing for 4-2 clubs. I mean, it's not great, right? We need someone to have 5-5 in the round suits for my plan to work. But it's at least a little bit better than the normal line of play. Okay. We get the Jack of Hearts lead. So could this be somewhat similar to that, like, compound squeeze type thing that we saw earlier? Maybe they mean playing in 6 spades, not 7, but we just have 12 top tricks in 6 spades. So that would be a little bit less interesting. Yeah, that might be a level 1 deal. I guess the ace of clubs entry to hand makes it so that we probably could kind of play this hand almost like a compound squeeze. Let me think about that for a second. So we win the ace of hearts. We run... See, my concern is... like, I don't know what to discard from North's hand when I cash my spades. What if I cash 5 spades and come down to ace, king, doubleton hearts, singleton, ace of diamonds, and king, queen, fifth of clubs? Then what? Maybe that actually... No, that doesn't work. Because then there's no mechanism for a double squeeze. Okay, but what does the end position look like? Let me think. So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. someone with 5 clubs someone could keep 5 clubs and singletons in both red suits. Okay, I kind of understand. So then what if we go club to the king, club to the ace before doing that? Then we'll know if clubs are 5-1. Yeah, I guess that works. Okay, I see the end position that kind of works. I don't really understand why it works, but at least I figured out how to play against, well, the distribution that we just got. It might only work if West has 5 clubs. Because I don't think... I have to make a discard from North's hand after West discards, which is kind of the important point here. Okay, so... let's win the heart ace. And let's play... pull trumps. And now we can test the clubs by club to the king, club to the ace, which feels a little bit unnatural. But now at least we figured out that West has 5 clubs. And so when we play the jack of spades, West has to unguard a red suit, right? So they have to keep 3 clubs in their hand, otherwise we could pitch a red suit, cross to North, rough the clubs good, and then get back in the other red suit. So this means West has been forced to unguard either hearts or diamonds. We're going to guess it's hearts at this point because of the heart discard, as well as the fact that the opponents had 9 diamonds between them and started with 3 hearts, or 7 hearts between them. So now we can pitch a heart. We can strip West's heart. So now East is the one who holds the guard in hearts. We cash the club queen, rough a club back to hand, cash the spade 10, and we just have a double squeeze. I assume the 4 of hearts isn't good. I was not necessarily watching. So kind of a weird variation on the compound squeeze that we saw in the previous deal on board, what was it, 27? Yeah, it really is magic. All of these squeezes are like magic. This is why I love card play so much. It's so cool seeing these squeezes just materialize tricks out of thin air. And I think they've done a pretty good job in Bridgemaster to like show you some of the basic concepts at like levels 3 and 4, and now you're kind of building on those basic concepts to these like more complicated types of squeezes, as well as like the opponents are now trying to trick you by discarding a lot of their threat cards early so that you can't just like lazily play through the hand and assume you know the end position. You have to actually be counting throughout. This is a cool hand type. Again, this requires guessing, right? We had to guess that West had unguarded the hearts early, and that meant we should have cashed the king of hearts. If West had instead pitched all of their diamonds, we needed to cash the diamond ace. Our 3 of diamonds would then have been a threat against East for the double squeeze, and hearts would have been the important suit that both opponents were guarding. So, not that this happens automatically, but we do have the ability to guard against these types of layouts as well. I think we get some points for finding the trump squeeze. I mean, if West actually had 5-5 in the round suits, we would have made our contract just fine. And of course, in practice, as everyone says, clubs are just going to be 4-2 quite often. But let's move on. We're in 7 no trump on this one. So we got like 8 more deals until we're done with level 5A. Partner opens a diamond. We bid 3 clubs, which is natural and forcing. Great bid. West bids 3 diamonds, which I can't tell what that is. What is this bid? What? Excuse me? What is 3 diamonds? Is this like takeout? Maybe it's like Michael's. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's Michael? Yeah, it does look like a VooGraph operator error. Oh my god. This is natural. Only in New Zealand could this be natural when we have 8 diamonds between us. 3 diamonds, 4 clubs. This is incredible stuff. I'm pretty sure both opponents are trying to show good hands with the majors. That's my guess. Anyway, we're in 7-0. So what's going on here? Well, we got 12 top tricks. And this honestly looks hopeless to me. If I got this hand at the table, I would probably take the Brad plan of claim down 1 and go to the bar when the diamonds don't split. But let's think. There's probably some way to, I don't know, orchestrate some sort of weird compound type squeeze against one or both opponents. So let's say we play 5 rounds of clubs, pitching a heart and a spade from north. We come down to a 8 card end position. An opponent could not possibly keep 4 diamonds, as well as, well, they could still keep 2-2 in the majors. I mean, it sounds to me like East is the only one who can have diamond guards. Okay, so maybe we then cash the ace king of diamonds and play another club, pitching a diamond. Now East, yeah, this works. This works. They're introducing us to this concept of a compound squeeze. So they did it on 27, and I don't know if you want to call it a straightforward manner, but it's probably the simplest form of compound squeeze. And then 28 is like another variation on that. So they're showing off that like the fact that we can have a threat in one hand, here being diamonds, means that we can force an opponent to early on unguard a different suit, and then assuming we have a guess as to what that suit is, we'll be able to strip that from their hand and then perform the hand basically as a double squeeze. So our basic plan is going to be run 6 rounds of clubs. We pitch a spade, a heart, and a diamond from north. We're going to then cash the diamond ace and cash the diamond king, find out that West shows out at some point, and hopefully if we've counted the hand out well, we're going to be able to guess which major suit East has effectively unguarded because they're forced to keep diamond length. We can then cash that ace, cross back to our other diamond honor, and play the last club, and we have ourselves a double squeeze. So again, we just need to count out the hand as we work through this. Okay, yep, that was not the way I saw this going, but that kind of makes me believe East has 5 diamonds. Or maybe West overcalled on 10-9-8, 10-9-8 fourth. We think it could still be a natural 3 diamond bid, maybe? Yeah, diamonds are trump. Okay, so club, East pitches the jack. I mean, we can cash the king of diamonds just to check and see if that's what's going on. West pitches a heart. So we suspect West is probably 5-5-0-3 in shape. So same plan applies. We're now going to run the clubs, pitch a heart, a spade, and a diamond. East is going to have to unguard one of the majors. We cash the ace of that major, setting up a threat against West, and then cash 2 diamonds ending in hand to play the last club. for the double squeeze. Let's see if I can count the hand correctly. So East has 3 hearts left, 3 spades left. West has 3 hearts, East has 2 hearts. West has 2 hearts, East has 2 spades. West is down to 2 spades. Did I do this correctly? No, I guess West has thrown a bunch of hearts, but they still have a bunch of spades left. Okay, so East has now unguarded the heart. We know there's only 3 hearts left out, so we can now cash the ace of hearts, stripping East's last heart, play a diamond, and cash the last club. Now we don't need this heart. Both opponents are, so West is holding onto a heart, East is holding onto a diamond, so our last spade is a winner. Another compound squeeze, kind of a little bit of a different variety, but they're just, I guess, really trying to hammer home this concept. This is the first time I felt like just back-to-back-to-back deals, they've been doing like the exact same concept in Bridgemaster, so it's feeling a little bit repetitive, but I think squeezes are cool, so it's totally fine. We are in 6 no trump. There was bidding, right? East opened 3 spades. Okay. I mean, it looks natural to duck the first trick to try and rectify the count for some sort of something. Some sort of squeeze, but let's think about that for a second. I mean, let's just try and make things as easy as possible on ourselves. Let's say West switches to clubs if they win the jack of spades. I mean, I suspect they're going to play a second spade, but I just want to think about what happens if we duck and they switch to clubs. Can we kind of pull off the same type of compound squeeze thing? If we cash 5 rounds of clubs, we're down to 3 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades in hand. East has to keep 2 spades, because East is the only one guarding that suit. And so East can't hold on to 3 hearts and 3 diamonds. The issue that I see is, what if East pitches a heart there? Oh, I guess that's simple, right? We win the 5th round of clubs in our hand, and cash the spade ace pitching a diamond, cash 2 hearts, and then lead the last club for a double squeeze. Okay, so that's the simple scenario. And if East pitches a diamond instead, we okay, brain freeze. We cash the spade ace, pitching a diamond. We cash a club, pitching a heart from hand, and then play a diamond to the ace. King of diamonds. I mean, someone's getting squeezed. So again, we have the double squeeze, but the thing I'm worried about there is that we've somehow forced ourselves down to a singleton heart. So a heart switch might kill this plan. I'm wondering if we can do the same thing that we've done on previous deals without the count. Because technically East is still going to be forced to keep 2 spades, even if we win the spade ace here. So East might once again be... I don't think it's going to work though, right? The big issue is that without the count rectified, there's no double squeeze that arises toward the end of play. Okay, so I think we probably do need to duck this trick, but I'm concerned about what to do when they switch to hearts. I'm concerned about what to discard from dummy when they play a spade. But it does look like we do need to duck the trick. Because I don't really see the possibility of some squeeze happening without the count. Yeah. All right, let's see what happens. They switch to hearts. This was my biggest concern, because I think the line of play I came up with was that I was going to need to ditch a heart from the south hand at some point, and that's going to cut my communications. I wonder if maybe there was a way to do this by winning the spade ace, but probably could have thought about this as a trick one. Anyway, we're here now. I was just curious to see what they were going to do. So we win the heart ace. We play 5 rounds of clubs, right? Again, East can't hold on to 2 spades as well as, well, 2 hearts and 3 diamonds, so they have to unguard a red suit. If they unguard hearts, it was easy. We cash the spade ace pitching a diamond, we play a heart to dummy, last club catches them in a double squeeze. So if East pitches diamonds, what happens? I mean, if we're able to win the 6th round or 5th round of clubs in dummy, we could then cash a club pitching a diamond from our hand, unblock the diamonds, and then cash the spade ace, which would again put them in a double squeeze. But the issue is I need to commit to winning the 5th round of clubs in one hand or the other before East. Oh, no, this is fine, right? Yeah, because I have 2 diamond entries to... Okay, I think this still works, right? And so we win the heart ace, we run 5 round of clubs, ending in North's hand. If East unguards diamonds, we cash the 6th club, pitch a diamond from our hand, go ace, king of diamonds, cash the spade ace. The opponents are double squeezed in hearts and their respective threat. If East unguards hearts, we can cross back to the diamond ace, play the spade ace pitching a diamond, and then cross in hearts again, and then the last club will double squeeze. Okay, this does work. So we got there eventually. The key point was I needed to make sure to win the 5th round of clubs in North's hand, and then depending on who plays what, we have things to do. So we see the idea. Now again, it's all going to be about counting out the hand. We know spades are 7-2, so hopefully we get a count on the other suits. Okay, East has no clubs. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult because now East could easily have the guards in both red suits. I think that's mostly what we're playing for. And I wonder if it's like cheating to just assume that East is 7-3-3-0 shape because that's kind of what they're hoping for us to guard against, right? Otherwise, this would have just reduced to a much simpler form of squeeze. Okay, well, East has thrown 2 spades. West has pitched a heart. East has thrown 3 spades. West has pitched 2 hearts. East has thrown 4 spades. So East is down to 2 spades. But now when we play a club to the ace, East has pitched a heart. So we now want to assume that East has unguarded hearts. I mean, it's really just a guess based on the distribution of the hand. And so we can cross to the diamond ace, play the ace of spades. West has pitched a diamond, and now a heart to the king, and play our last club for the double squeeze. Finally, we get to take the last trick with a 2. I haven't really been on the lookout for taking the last trick with 2s. But again, kind of a cool hand, I guess. You know, I wonder if I should like look at the solution to get actual keywords for this sort of stuff, because I've been calling all of these compound squeezes, and I just don't know if that's really what they're supposed to be called or if there's different terminology for it. But my understanding of compound squeezes is basically it's like a double squeeze, but there are two potential suits for a what you would call a middle suit, or I think that's the term someone has used before. And you have to figure out which player unguards what, so that you can cache those cards before preparing the double squeeze. So East wins trick 1, rectifying the count. East shifts to a heart. And East's most likely shape is 7-3-3-0. West rates to be longer than East in both hearts and diamonds. If that is the case, the defense will be subject to a compound squeeze. Okay, they just call it a compound squeeze. It's true that East's most likely shape is 7-3-3-0, but this is definitely a piece of card play that, like, I think is probably more important than learning about squeezes, like learning how to guess or count out the opponent's distribution or get them to give you clues about their shape on deals. Because obviously compound squeezes look really cool and awesome when they come up and you can pull them off and you're just like, yeah, I made on a super rare, declare a play thing. But counting out hands and like learning the opponent's shapes comes up on every deal. So if you can do that just like 1% better, then that's going to be a much more valuable improvement to your game than learning this type of compound squeeze stuff. BZL says he likes ambiguous for those, where it's a double squeeze but you don't know which suits are which. I think compound squeeze is the technical term. I just didn't know if there were like different types of compound squeezes, and I was being like very lackadaisical with my terminology. I guess they're just calling it a compound squeeze though. So this is exactly what we did. I guess I'll step through it for the sake of people who might be less familiar with what was going on. Hopefully I explained it well, but they're going to kind of show you with all the cards visible. I think this is probably a better way to learn with all of the cards visible. I moved away from Virginia. No, just the opposite. I moved away from Maryland into Virginia temporarily, but eventually I will be in Florida. God, can someone time out DT? I have the feeling this is going to go downhill quickly. So on the heart guard, West has the only heart. Thank you. Perfect. All right, we're back. So he's pitched a heart in this end position, which is exactly what happened when we were there. We cross back to our hand in diamonds, play the ace of spades to pitch the diamond, cross back in hearts, and now we're kind of in the familiar double squeeze position where East has a spade, we have the spade threat, West has a heart, we have the heart threat, so we can lead a club and both opponents are squeezed. They do talk through the other option. If East had discarded diamond on the second to last club, then I also talk through this. Now we need to cash a club to pitch the two diamonds immediately, as I had mentioned. And now we can, well, they say a couple of different things, but basically I said we were going to cash the diamond ace and then play the ace of spades, and it's basically the same type of double squeeze. Cool. 6 more to go in level 5. So partner opens 2 diamonds, we bid 3 no. We get the queen of hearts lead. We have like a million tricks when diamonds split. So diamonds probably don't split, but we're not going to worry about that yet. We're going to make sure we always make the contract on 3-2 diamonds, or if the jack falls, singleton, and then we will worry about alternatives after that. Okay, so queen of hearts. To the ace. I mean, it looks perfectly safe to me to duck this trick. Obviously, it's safe. Maybe not the right match point play, because it could be a little scary if he switches to clubs and we misguess. Because we might just have... Oh, sorry, not duck this trick. I was thinking about a heart return. I was already one step ahead of you. Okay. I was going to say it looks safe to duck this trick, but at match points it could be scary because if East wins and then switches to clubs, we might only make 9 tricks when we have 11 available if the diamond split. But at imps, or at puzzle scoring, it's probably correct to discard here. This hand almost has a similar feel to that, I forget what it was, like 6 no trump or something contract that we were in the other day, where we had a king-jack combination and we could potentially squeeze someone into guessing the suit for us. Let me think about how that might go. So let's say I duck this heart and win the next one, assuming they just continue hearts, which I think would be very kind and generous of them. And then I play off 4 rounds of spades, pitching a club from north. And then I go ace-king of diamonds, and I find out that East has 4 of them. What end position am I left in? I'm left with 3 clubs and a heart in hand, and I'm left with a club and 3 diamonds and dummy. So East could easily be down to 2 diamonds and 2 clubs. We don't really get a good guess. So what happens if we duck an extra heart on this plan? So West wins. Presumably East doesn't have a high heart to overtake the 3rd round. Otherwise, we would be in jeopardy ducking that trick. We pitch a club from north on the 3rd heart. We pitch a diamond from north on the 4th heart. Then we run spades and go ace, king of diamonds. We're down to a 3-card ending. We have queen 10 of diamonds and a singleton club in north hand. We have king jack 3rd and south hand. So East is going to be down to 2 diamonds and 3 clubs. If they have either the ace or queen of clubs, we make the contract from there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to lead a low club. East might play the queen, but we're going to play the deuce from our hand. And so if West overtakes, West is down to just clubs. They have to give us the king-jack on the last 2 tricks. If East is allowed to hold the trick, then they have to lead into our diamond tennis. So I'm guessing this is what they want us to play for. We will need some good luck in the other suits, like we need hearts not to be 5-2. Otherwise, West could just set up hearts and get in with the club ace and beat us. But if that's the case, there's nothing we can do, right? Like the main concern is that East has jack 4th of diamonds. Obviously, if West has jack 4th of diamonds, we technically could pick it up, but we're never going to. But I think this is the idea they want us to realize. And so let's see what happens. 8 of hearts goes to the 9. It does sound as if East has the 7 of hearts remaining, which is good news for us. So hearts are 4-3. And again, we do want to reach that kind of desired 3-card end position, so we need to duck this trick. West continues a heart. Now we pitch a diamond. Unfortunately, we can never beer. So this is a little bit of a scary problem to me, because you're sacrificing a large number of overtrick imps for albeit like not too unlikely layout of the cards, but one that is definitely not going to happen all of the time. But anyway, this is, I think, the idea on this hand. So fortunately, spades have split as well. East ditched a spade earlier, so West has 4 of them. We can pitch the diamond, and now we go ace of diamonds, diamond. West is going to show out, and we lead a club. East plays... Oh, no. Oh, no. Did I miscalculate? Uh-oh. Hold on. Did East pitch a diamond that I wasn't aware of? I really liked this line of play because we make whenever East has any of the club cards. I guess I haven't been watching the club discards, but... Wow. Okay, apparently I did something bad. Oh, maybe I can just throw West in. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe this is a better plan. I throw West in with the 4th round of hearts. I actually really liked my line of play there. Let me think about this for a second. Is it just better to throw West in with the 4th round of hearts? What would I need for that line of play to be right and this to be... I mean, I would need West to have the club ace. What? Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait just a second here. Heart to the ace, a heart return. So on that layout of the cards, we could have made it by ducking 2 hearts, winning the 3rd round, testing the diamonds, and when they don't split, cashing the diamond queen to pitch a club. Then we run spades and we exit a heart, and West gets end played into leading away from the club ace. I don't think that's better than what I did, because I was making when East had any of the club honors, ace or queen. Oh, maybe that's not entirely true. Yeah, actually, maybe that's not entirely true. No, it is true, right? Hold on, I'm confusing myself a little bit. I need to take 2 tricks at the end. I guess East could unblock all of their club spots, right? If they had like queen, 10, whatever of clubs, they could dump the queen of clubs, dump the 10 of clubs, and then when I lead a low club, East plays low, and West would be able to like win the 7 or something. Okay, maybe it's not as good, but I would make if East had the club ace. So it feels almost as good as that line of play that I just came up with. I'm trying to understand, like, why would I choose one over the other? And is there just something better? Like, maybe there's just something better that I'm missing. I don't know on this one. Those do seem like the only 2 lines of play. I guess I was originally under the belief that I was making 75% of the time. It's probably closer to 50. Although, in reality, not every East is going to find all of these club unblocks. So I think we probably would be okay enough at the time. Anyway, let me try out this plan of testing the diamonds and then running the spades and throwing West in. Let's check and make sure spades are splitting. They do. Now we can test the diamond suit. Pitching a club. Can cash a couple spades and exit a heart. I'm not convinced I like this line. Yeah, see, now we go down when East has the club ace. Okay, so they do want me to find better, which is totally fair. So what am I doing wrong here? What if... Ooh, okay, I have an idea. This was not obvious to me. We should still duck the first two hearts. But now I have to decide if I can pitch a club again. And once again, I'm not convinced this is a good this is a good puzzle hand, because I think in reality just like running the diamond suit or taking some line of play similar to what I've done or what we did earlier is probably fine. What if I cash my spades, unblock the diamond ace, and then exit the last heart? If West gets in and leads a diamond, we just go up with the king, fine. Hopefully diamonds are 3-2. I mean, we were never picking up West's 4-card diamond holding. But if West gets in and doesn't have a diamond, they're going to have to lead clubs. We get to set up a club trick. And then we can get over to the diamond suit. Yeah. Yeah, so the key was not to cash 3 rounds of diamonds, because if East has the club ace, then we've set up a diamond trick for them. Do the same thing and don't cash the queen of diamonds. Well, then we've lost an extra trick, so even if they are end played into giving us 1 club, we still don't have 9. But yeah, I think this is actually the plan, and it does look as if I can afford to pitch a club from North Sand. Which, I'm just doing that. This isn't important to the puzzle. Like, the puzzle solution is to ditch a diamond, right, and say, hey, if we get 4 diamond tricks, we already have 9. But this is important for over tricks in case the diamonds split. So ace of spades, king of spades, spades do split. We will continue pulling spades, all the spades. We can pitch a... I mean, sure, we could pitch a club. I guess I have to throw diamonds anyway, so it's... Because the whole plan here is to be completely safe against as many layouts as possible, and now we exit a heart, and the opponents effectively are just going to have to give us our club immediately. What? Well, now what? Oh god. We know the shape, right? So I think I can now just lead a club and duck it. Oh boy, this... No, I can't. I have to guess the club ace. Okay. That felt like a very unsatisfactory hand, ultimately. Well... Anyway, I mean, we came up with the idea they wanted, which was we can cash the diamond ace and effectively, like, end play them into leading clubs for us. It then kind of turned into this new problem where West switched to diamonds, and now we had to fall back on guessing the ace of clubs. In that end position, if West had the singleton ace, we would have needed to exit a club. They would have won the ace and been end played into leading into dummies diamonds. But here we were able to cash the diamond queen and then lead a club up. I wonder if they have any comments about how to guess the ace of clubs in the end. Let's see. West leads the queen of hearts, East wins the ace, returns a heart, South has 8 top tricks. First glance, it appears South needs a favorable diamond lie or a successful guess in clubs. South can give himself a slight extra chance by ducking at trick 2. West continues, East follows, and South wins the king. South should next cash 4 rounds of spades. Pitching a diamond from North Sand. Yeah, sadly, they're giving up on a ton of over tricks by doing this. Followed by the ace of diamonds, and then exits a heart. South should be careful to keep exactly 1 club in dummy. That's true. That's exactly what I did. If West began with 1 diamond, he'll be forced to play a club, and the defense will be powerless to prevent South from getting a 9th trick. Also true. Yeah. Because even if West plays a club to East ace, East leading a diamond would go into the King Queen 10 tennis, or King Queen 7, depending on how we preserved our diamonds. And if East was able to win the ace of clubs and return a club, we could then win the king. That's our 9th trick, and we still have diamond communication. If West is able to exit in diamonds, dummy wins. Contract will only be in danger if West began with exactly 4-4-1 distribution. I mean, sure, because West turned up with 4-4 in the majors, but yeah, there's no guarantee that West had to have 4 spades or 4 hearts or any of this, but sure. In this case, yes. If West singleton club is the ace, South must exit with dummy's club before cashing the last diamond winner. West will win the ace. The end played. This plan will also work if West singleton club is the queen. Exactly. I think I had mentioned that earlier with this line of play I was looking at, with East having like ace or queen of clubs. It will fail, however, if West club is a smaller card. South should instead cater to West holding a small singleton club. Why? Just because it's mathematically more likely, or... Okay, they don't really go through it. I mean, it is mathematically more likely, but I guess, you know, there are bidding considerations. I think, I mean, it went 2 diamonds past 3 no trump. Like, is everyone passing 3 no, or is everyone passing 3 diamonds with East sand here? Maybe? I don't know. Ace 10 9 8 7th of clubs and an outside ace with a singleton diamond feels like some people might get involved in the auction. And also, like, defensive considerations. Like, is it so clear that East would win the ace of hearts and return a heart rather than, like, switch to clubs from this holding? Not sure. So, anyway, I think this has been a very, very poor problem. But all of the other level 5 deals I've enjoyed thoroughly so far. Hey, ATN, good evening to you. We got 5 to go. West opens a diamond. We balance with the takeout double. East does not bid, which apparently doesn't mean that East can't have like a good 5-card suit headed by an ace and a couple of other honors. We've seen that issue before, but here we go. We get to 4 hearts. Queen of clubs lead. I can't take it. I can't take it. The number of times that they pass their partner's opening bid with an ace is just insane. Well, we're here now. This does give us a little bit of information about the remainder of the cards. So we suspect West probably has everything else. Ace of spades, queen of diamonds, maybe even the queen jack of hearts. Okay, we got a club loser. We got 2 spade losers. I mean, it looks like we probably have a trump loser, unless we get a lucky singleton honor or queen jack doubleton or something. Well, I mean, there are techniques to neutralize a queen jack trump combination like this. There's something called a devil's coup, which could take place on this hand. So imagine if East has jack third of hearts, and we were able to reach an end position where North has, say, king 7 doubleton of hearts and some outside card, a spade or a diamond, and South has ace 10 9 of hearts. We lead our side card. Hopefully West follows to this trick, and East has to decide what to ruff with. If they ruff small, we just ruff low, and then our ace king of hearts are good. If East ruffs with their honor, we can then take a finesse against West's honor. So that could be an end position we're trying to work towards. I mean, first things first, we're going to need to take a spade finesse, okay? We have successfully taken a spade finesse. Way to go, us. Cool. It looks as if spades are 3-2. Otherwise, East could have gotten a spade ruff. So we'll win the king of spades. And how do we get to said end position? Well, I think it means we need to take a diamond finesse. I'm just thinking, what happens if I give up a spade right now? West cashes 2 more spades. And East might throw a diamond. And so then I think we run into trouble if diamonds happen to be, if West has 4 diamonds and East has 3 of them, because East will be able to ruff the 3rd round of diamonds, and that's... I mean, maybe that doesn't mess with us, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, diamonds could be 5-2, and then East would be able to ruff the 2nd round of diamonds, which would be a little bit worse. But yeah, if we get this kind of desired heart layout where East has honor 3rd and hearts and East ever ruffs, we should be able to just pull trumps and then set up our spades. So maybe the plan is actually to go diamond to the king, diamond to the jack, ace of diamonds. If East ruffs, we assume we're good. If East discards, we pitch a spade. But now if we give up a spade, West can just cash 2 spades and exit a diamond, and things don't work out. I mean, we might need East to have 3 diamonds for things to work, because I am going to need to give up 2 spade tricks to get to that kind of 3-card end position. What if I go diamond to the king, diamond to the jack, and then play a spade? Maybe this is like slightly better, right? Diamond to the king, diamond to the jack, exit a spade. West wins. If they play a diamond, we go up with the ace. I still need to play king of clubs and ruff a club. I'm struggling to figure out how to do that. Oh, maybe it's a lot simpler than I'm expecting. What if I just go diamond to the king, diamond to the jack, ace of diamonds, ruff a diamond, king of clubs, club ruff, and then I exit a spade? This is like way easier than I was imagining. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there's actually no way to get to this like potential devil's coup end position that I was alluding to. So I think I like this plan. Sure. Looks good to me. So they can cash a second spade, but presumably they're now end played into leading trumps. Okay, final piece of the puzzle. We have to decide if if West has the Queen Jack of Hearts or if East does. I wasn't really counting the shape. That was probably a good plan. So West turned up with 4 diamonds. They turned up with 3 spades. And they turned up with at least 3 clubs. If West had Queen Jack third of hearts, East could have, well, they always could have beat us, right? Because East could have roughed in on that. No. East didn't have the ability to rough in. Yeah, we do have a little bit of a guess here as to whether or not West has the Jack of Hearts. I mean, mathematically, we should hop up with the Heart King. But I think, like, bidding-wise, like, East is already turned up with an ace. I don't know. I'm not certain. I'm just going to play the King of Hearts. I don't think that was the right play, but I was pretty sure it was the one they wanted me to make, so there you have it. Okay, well, West has a massive 14 count. Couldn't open a no trump. Yeah, I was spending a little bit of time trying to figure out a layout there that I couldn't really guard against. I wonder if they will present us with a Devil's Coup at some point, but I don't think we had any ability to make it work there. We just didn't have like the entries or the shape shifting mechanism to get to the end position I had talked about. We're in 6 spades on 33. We get the 10 of spades lead. Gross. This can't be a good con. Hold on, I want to criticize the bidding somehow. Partner opens 2 diamonds, weak 2 in diamonds, and somehow we've decided that we want to play in a slam after that happens with a diamond void. What were we thinking? Okay, we're here now. 10 of spades lead. I mean, I see a plan to make our contract. If I'm guessing East, so let's say East is the one with 4 trumps. If East has 4 trumps, so let's say hearts are 3-3. We could rough out the heart suit, right? Win the ace of spades, ace king of hearts, heart rough. But now we're going to want to return to our hand by roughing a diamond, and we're going to rough with the 4 and hope that whoever has the long trump also has the club king and diamond king. Because if when we were in dummy, if we use the ace of diamonds to discard a club loser, we're always going to lose a club, and now we're relying on 3-3 spades, which looks very unlikely given this 10 of spades opening lead. Now, I don't know if that's 10 doubleton or if it's potentially from like Jack 10 fourth or something, but this, I think, is a very clear indication that spades are not splitting well. Like Jack 10 third, West would probably have led the Jack or low. 10 third, West would have led a low one. So I don't believe that spades are 3-3. I mean, it's possible. Like, they could be. It just feels a little bit more likely that I can end play someone into giving me extra tricks in the minor suits. But let's see what happens on the first couple of tricks. So we'll win the ace of spades. I do believe we're going to need to rough out the heart suit. Otherwise, I just don't see any hope. Okay, ace of hearts, king of hearts, heart rough. Cool, hearts have split. So, you know, we do get a little bit of an extra chance, right? If spades happen to be 3-3, we could just take the club finesse. So let me think. I mean, on this plan of like rough a diamond back to hand, if we go ace of diamonds, club, or diamond rough, it doesn't really matter. Get back to hand, king, queen of spades. We're banking on 3-3 spades, which I think is very unlikely. But we will end up going down on my line of play if East has the club king and spades are 3-3. Yeah, it's just got to be better to take this plan. I mean, there's no way spades are splitting. Nice. East did their best trying to discard all of their high spades, but they were unable to do so. We had carefully roughed the diamond with the 4 of spades in hand to preserve that 2 of spades as an exit card, another gambit play. Cute little hand. But I don't know, again, for whatever reason, that one felt a little bit easier. I'm curious what they say about it. I want to hear their reasoning for their line of play. I think it's like massively percentage as well to take this plan, even if we don't have the inference from the 10 of spades lead that the suit's probably splitting badly. South wins. South should cash top hearts and rough a heart. 3-3 break is good news, but South is not out of the woods yet. I like how they actually just skip over the auction. They're like, this is a totally normal auction. Everyone would reach 6 spades on these cards. Nice. Whenever your partner preempts and you're voiding their suit, you should always be thinking slam. South could cash the diamond ace for a club discard, rough a diamond, and play for trumps to be 3-3. However, West's lead to the 10 of spades strongly suggests that East has a trump trick. I mean, I think one of them has a trump trick, right? West could be clever with Jack 10 4th or something, but sure, yeah. So South still has a chance by exiting with the 4th round of trumps. If East has the club king and began with 1 or 2 diamonds, he'll be unplayed. South is willing to make the reasonable assumption that East has 4 trumps. There's a stronger line of play, blah, 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 blah. Okay. On to the next. 3 to go. We're in 7 diamonds. Probably not ducking trick 1. Okay, this immediately to me looks like a guard squeeze, which is a new type of squeeze. We haven't seen that before in these deals. And I guess this is going to be the intro hand, because this feels like we're just going to start clicking on cards and everything's going to work the way we want. So yeah, I suppose we need to, let's get to the situation where we know confidently that this is going to look like a guard squeeze, and then I'll talk through it. Because it's very possible that we could end up playing this hand as some sort of double squeeze. If West has spade length, if West has the queen of spades, which it looks like they do from the opening lead, and East has the heart length, we could win the ace of spades, cash some trumps, test the hearts, find out East has hearts, run the diamonds, and eventually first West gets squeezed in spades and clubs, we pitch the jack of spades, then East gets squeezed in hearts and clubs, and we make our contract. But the presence of the 10 of clubs actually makes this a little bit more interesting. We'll still be able to make the contract when West is the one who guards both hearts and spades. You might say, well, we could try a simple squeeze, but we don't have the entries for a simple squeeze, right? If we win the spade ace and then run all of our trumps, cash the ace king of clubs, and then run all of our trumps, yeah, West technically gets squeezed, but we have no way back to the north hand. West can just unguard the spade suit. But if the club honors are split here, so if West has at least one of the club honors, we'll be able to come down to an interesting end position where West is effectively forced to unguard their club. So they'll come down to like a singleton queen or singleton jack of clubs. We'll be able to play a club to the ace and a club back to the 10 and make the last tricks and clubs. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. Let's cash a couple of tricks to find out who has the heart guard though. So we'll pull trumps. Trumps have split, and now we'll cache the hearts to figure out which opponent has hearts. I suspect West is going to be the one they give 4 hearts to. Great. So now that West actually has guards in 2 different suits, spades and hearts, it means we're going to be able to force them to uncomfortably discard in clubs as we run the diamond suit against them. So we'll play the queen of diamonds. We just need to be on the lookout. This squeeze kind of happens automatically in a sense, so we don't need to do a whole lot of counting between the opponent's hands. We just need to look for the queen of spades or the last heart. So West is down 2. We're presuming honor doubleton in clubs, the last heart, and the queen of spades. We play a diamond. West pitches a club, and now we know West's entire hand is 1 spade, 1 heart, and 1 club left. We can throw either a spade or heart from dummy. We'll lead a club. West's honor shows up. And because we've established that West's last 2 cards are hearts and spades, we can confidently take the club finesse and make all the tricks on the guard squeeze there. So a little bit of an introductory deal, and probably if you're not familiar with this concept, it might have taken quite some time to work through this one. But yeah, I've seen this before, and because there wasn't anything complicated about counting or guessing the opponent's distribution, we can just kind of quickly walk through what goes on that one. So 2 hands to go. We get to 6 spades. East has bid 4 hearts. Okay, and we have a heart loser off the top. Now what? This looks oddly reminiscent of the previous entry shifting trump squeeze that we had on board. I don't remember where it was. Oh, it was probably before I broke everything, right? No, board 25. Here we are. Yeah, so this entry shifting trump squeeze. So if you can kind of look at the hand a little bit, especially when East is likely to have a long heart suit here, it sounds as if West might have the king, queen of diamonds. West might also have club length. So we could presumably, cache 1 round of trumps, kind of rough a couple of hearts in the south hand if possible, and then lead the jack of spades for this type of entry shifting trump squeeze that we saw earlier. I think that's going to be my plan, to try and score an extra trick in the minor suits. I'm going to need to think about it a little bit, because obviously if clubs are just 4-3, we could pull 2 rounds of trumps and rough out the clubs. But let's see what happens in the first couple of tricks. 7 of hearts goes to the 8. And we get the 9 of hearts return. It's starting to sound as if hearts are 7-1. I mean, there's no way East would risk us just winning the heart king. So it does feel like we should probably rough this in hand. Oh, wow. East did risk returning a heart, so hearts are 6-2. I can't believe it's not possible for me to believe that we should be discarding from hand, though. That seems a little bit too risky, especially when we appear to have like an actual legitimate chance of making this on the entry shifting squeeze variety. Let me just think about this for a second and make sure I know what I'm talking about. So if I play off the king of spades and I cross to the diamond ace and I rough a heart high, and I go like ace of clubs, club rough, diamond rough, I mean, it's a little bit scary, right? This whole plan of roughing a couple of clubs in north hand. I would like to test and see if clubs are 4-3 before I go through this. But how am I going to get a count on West's shape? Like if I just start going ace of clubs, club ruff, I'm a little worried that East might be able to overruff at some point, which is scary. And the fact that East only has 6 hearts for their bid, I think makes it even more likely that East has shortness somewhere. I don't know if that would be clubs or spades. Let me think for a second, because obviously if I could just cross ruff the hand, we're in great shape. Like ace of clubs, club ruff, spade over, club ruff, ace of diamonds, diamond ruff, club ruff, pull trumps and claim. Yeah, I feel like I'm falling into the trap of like, these are a high level puzzle deal, so I'm looking for these kinds of complicated squeezes now. Like we saw that entry shifting trump squeeze earlier, and this hand has a little bit of the same feel to me. But maybe the idea is to start off on this plan of roughing clubs and then fall back on that possibility. And that's what's taking me a minute to try and figure out, like, how am I going to set the hand up so I can fall back on this like entry shifting squeeze plan. Ace of clubs, ruff a club, spade to South's hand. But then we have to decide if we're roughing a club low or high. Oh no, DT is back. Why Florida? My dad lives in Florida. I'm going to visit him for a couple of months. I actually don't know how I would play this one at the table. I probably would suspect East is likely to have club shortness, so clubs are probably not 4-3. Yeah, but then what? Which I guess maybe does make it more likely that we should play for this entry shifting trump squeeze thing. So we go ace of clubs, ruff a club. Actually, I don't even think we can do that. I think we just have to go king of spades, diamond to the ace, diamond ruff, and then lead the jack of spades. And West theoretically gets caught in this like weird squeeze there. Is that true? Oh, brain. I've been here for a while, and I think I've done an okay job so far, but we're slowly running out of gas. Luckily, there's only 2 hands left. Yeah, so what happens if I go diamond to the ace, diamond ruff, king of spades, spade, king of spades, jack of spades? We're down to a 8 card end position. I mean, West just has so many idle cards to throw. This doesn't work the way we want. We really need to be roughing things back to our hand. So I guess we probably are going to need to eventually go like club ace, club rough. But first things first, we need to start roughing things in the south hand. So diamond to the ace, diamond rough, club ace, club rough, heart rough, high. Well, I only have high trumps. There is zero chance I'm going to ever do anything that you say, DT. Okay, so East has followed to 2 diamonds. I think we can cash 1 spade, but then we want to go club ace, club rough, heart rough, and then we lead the last spade, and we've reached kind of our stereotypical entry squeeze position. Yeah, now we can't make it. Wait, hold on. Maybe we can make it if West still has club length. Like if I can just cash all of these cards. Oh, man. Really? Okay, obviously I've done the wrong thing because East is going to get a club trick or West is going to be able to overruff the next round of clubs. So we can make it when East has clubs and hearts. It's the same entry shifting trump squeeze mechanism, but it's just on a different player. So we would need to arrange to lead the queen of spades from North's hand. I just don't know why that is more likely than whatever I was doing. I'm not even sure what I was playing for West to have the minors, which kind of feels more likely on the auction. I don't know. I guess West really can't have the minors. They would have overcalled 2 no trump. Okay, maybe I'm insane. Okay, well, definitely win trick 1 or duck trick 1 and rough high trick 2. That has to be the way to start. So yeah, if West can't have 5-5 in the minors, which is basically what I was playing for. I mean, reasonable line of play, but I think auction-wise it's unlikely that that's what's happening. What is the alternative? I mean, we could start by trying to rough clubs and dummy. I'm still worried, though, that West might have long clubs and East overroughs at some point. So this seems scary to me. But maybe there's no alternative. I think I do need to play a diamond to the ace, though, and rough a diamond so that we start shortening ourselves. Okay. This isn't good enough. I don't have entries anymore. Man, I feel like I'm really struggling on this. Yeah, West could have minors and not a bunch of high cards and might not want to bid. It's possible, so it's not like my line of play was crazy. I was trying for something. But from here, I don't think we can make it. I can't get to this like desired end position, right? We're looking to get to a spot where we have like 2 trumps in one hand and 2 trumps in the other. And then we lead the queen of spades and East has to decide, do they unguard hearts or clubs? And then we win in the correct hand to rough the suits good. Maybe I could have done this if I hadn't cashed the club ace. I mean, that's probably true. Yeah, let's so like, okay, we have now pulled all of the trumps. Let's imagine I had gotten to this position, but we actually had a club left in both hands, the ace of clubs in south, and we had a club in north. Now, East could not keep 4 clubs to protect the club suit, as well as 2 hearts to protect the heart suit. But that's only one trick. Hold on, where am I getting an extra trick from? I'm so confused. Like, even if I could rough the hearts good, then right, like East has even unguarded the hearts here, but I can go king of clubs, club rough, and the king of hearts is good, but that's only an 11th trick. I just lose the diamond. I'm so lost. You know, we could play west for 5 diamonds. Okay, hold on. Maybe this is actually a good line of play. We could pull off a double squeeze if west has 5 diamonds, right? So what we could do is go ace of spades, diamond to the ace, diamond rough high. Jack of spades. Hold on, how is this working again? Give me a second. Maybe it's once again not working. I was thinking if there was a way that I could rough 2 diamonds in the south hand and then pull trumps and run all of north trumps. No, we're like just tons of tricks short. I have no idea what the answer is. I really don't. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna pitch a club. Okay. apparently we did need to rough high. Let me just fool around with a couple of tricks and see how I feel after these. See what I mean? Clubs are likely to not split well. Okay, they don't like that plan either. Maybe a guard squeeze once again. Wait, is it possible that we could actually have a guard squeeze once again on this? I don't think so, right? There's no way. We can't possibly... Well, what would the end position have to look like? East would need to guard hearts and clubs. We would have to come down to a 2-card end position. So this would require us to ruff 2 clubs in North's hand. Oh, I think you're right. Well, okay, so this will work on... Hold on, does this work? No, this doesn't work. The concern is that we have to discard before East from North's hand. So East is going to be able to pitch the heart ace. Oh, but... Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, the wheels are turning. Wheels are turning here. Let me think. You've given me an idea, right? Okay, let's pretend like we were able to reach an end position with a singleton club in hand, a singleton diamond, and a spade, and dummy has a heart and the ace jack of diamonds. We're not quite there. Yeah, we're not quite there yet, because that end position isn't going to work. But what if I have 2 spades in hand and 1 spade in the dummy? And West still has a trump. I guess we're still not quite there. This feels like a closer attempt, though. I mean, and it also lines up with the fact that they've given East one of the diamond honors, but not both. I feel like I'm trying to reverse engineer based on the ways they're telling me I'm going down. So, yeah, how do we reach an end position where things are going to, go positively for us? If East has the club length, they also have the heart length. I don't see how to make it when East has length in both round suits. Three cards. We have an end position with King Doubleton in clubs. Oh, okay, good call. Yeah, maybe we need actually more clubs in our hands so that the thing is going to work out the way we want. This could work, yes. So what if we had 4 cards in the end position, right? North has the King of Hearts, the Ace Jack third of diamonds, and we have a spade, King Doubleton of clubs, and a diamond. East has to keep the heart ace, has to keep a Doubleton club, so they come down to a singleton diamond. We then cash our spade, pitching a diamond from dummy, and East can't keep both a heart. Yeah, so this does work. Okay, well, I know how to reach that end position. This feels like a really complex hand because there's a ton of different possibilities, and like we could have tried to rough out clubs. Okay, let's go through let's go through their line of play, and then maybe we'll take a look at the solution. So we've figured out the end position we want to reach, which is one spade, king, doubleton of clubs, and a diamond opposite singleton, king of hearts, and ace, jack, third of diamonds. So that means we can't touch diamonds. We can rough a heart, which I guess we're going to do to try and get back to our hand. But we're also going to want to try and pull some trumps and test to see if the clubs split. So jack of spades, the clubs have split badly, or the spades have split badly, so now let's try and rough the club suit. Good. Club rough. We can afford to rough a heart. We lead another club. West roughs in intermediate. Otherwise, we potentially could have roughed low, gone ace of diamonds, diamond rough, club rough high, diamond rough, and pulled trumps. I don't know, unclear, but this means we effectively can't rough our fifth club in the dummy. But now we're kind of in the desired end position, right? So we play off all of our spades, and East holding on to, we know the ace of hearts, we know a doubleton club has been forced to ditch their diamond. Now we can throw our heart loser and take a diamond finesse to make six spades. Okay. It was another guard squeeze, but this one was a lot more complicated to visualize, I suppose. Just because there were so many alternatives with setting up the clubs or trying for these, like, I don't know, other obscure things that I was hoping might work. Let's look at what they say, though. So West leads the seven of hearts. East wins. Continues hearts. You missed it. What was the answer? So it was a guard squeeze against East. I guess we're going to look through the answer, so just follow what they say. But yeah, so second round of hearts. Appears South should have discarded a club at trick 2. It does appear that way, doesn't it? South's only possible losers are in clubs. True. Dummy has more than enough trumps to take care of South's 3 small clubs. So South draws a trump. East discards. South should continue with ace of clubs and a club rough. Cross back to his hand by leading a heart and roughing high. West discard confirms the heart count. We didn't really think East had 5 of them. And now on another club, if West follows, South can establish the clubs or cash the club king and cross rough. True. West roughs. And now what is going on? Okay, we're running spades. Run spades without cashing the club king, and the last spade, East is subject to a guard squeeze, has to keep the ace of hearts, otherwise the king is good, has to keep the jack 10 of clubs, otherwise the clubs are good, so must ditch the king of diamonds. Now we can cash the king of clubs to pitch the heart king, and take a diamond finesse. This form of guard squeeze matures with one loser, an opponent squeezed in 3 suits. One of the threat suits, the victim is protecting his partner against a finesse. There are no entries in either of the other threat suits, preventing a simple squeeze. Yeah, so I guess they're talking through like how you, if you're like, this is the way you visualize squeezes, which is not how I do it. I'm not sure, actually. I think ATN visualizes squeezes in this way, where they talk through like, one opponent has guards in this suit, one has guards in the other suit. You have to have these specific winners in different hands. That's not really how I go about it, but everything makes sense. So now that I've kind of seen this position, I might be a little more familiar with it if it comes up in the future. I was just really not on the right track on this one. I was thinking about different types of squeezes, and I got the completely wrong picture. Yeah, you take a finesse at trick 12 because East has been forced to unguard the thing. We had another guard squeeze earlier, which was a little bit more straightforward. That was, yeah, board 34. So, oh, on the very previous deal, I was complaining how they were like doing all of the things in a row. They had like 4 compound squeezes in a row, and I was just like, man, they really should separate these out so people don't realize that it's just back to back to back compound squeezes. But yeah, board 34 was the introductory guard squeeze, which was a little bit easier to see. And now 35, they made things a bit more complicated. So, cool hand. Happy that we went through that. I wanted to go back to the one that we really struggled with yesterday. To give a little bit more clarity on how we probably could and should have thought about this problem, I think I got caught up a little bit in the fact that this was a puzzle, and as such, I don't know, maybe looking for a bit of an exotic solution. But realistically, this is a hand that I think players could come up with a solution at the table. I mean, you might not necessarily know what you're trying to play for at the onset of the deal. But I kind of want to talk through maybe the way we should have gone about working towards a solution, and then realized as we got closer and closer to the end position that there were possibilities for this potential guard squeeze that did arise. So just to recall, this is a hand where East eventually overcalled hearts at the 4 level, presumably showing a pretty big hand with a long heart suit. We get a heart opening lead, we're in 6 spades, and after East wins the first heart trick, East returns another low heart, and this kind of presents us with our first dilemma. Now, the first thing we really should have done, and what you should always be doing when you're looking at these declare play problems, is to stop and count your tricks, count your losers. Well, we have no losers anymore. No club losers, no diamond losers, no heart losers, no trump losers. But we don't really have enough tricks yet. Now, we should be able to ruff at least 2 clubs in the north hand. Like if spades are 2-1, we'll just naturally be able to ruff 2 clubs. And even if spades are 3-0, it's still quite likely, with all of these high spades in our hand and plenty of entries via heart ruffs or even the trump suit itself, we should be able to ruff a couple of clubs in north. So if clubs turn out to be 4-3, we're going to be in great shape to make this contract. And if clubs turn out to be 5-2, we still have possibilities of a cross ruff, where if East is the one who is short in clubs, maybe East will be out of trumps after we pull 1 round, and we can ruff all 3 of our clubs in North's hand. That's possible. And eventually, after Ace of Diamonds and a low diamond ruff in hand, we'll just be ruffing with high trumps in our own hand. We can take 12 tricks that way. So I think those are the things that we should start thinking about as we, make our way through the beginning of play on this deal, right? And with all of that in mind, it would be very risky to discard a club here, even though we know East has the heart ace. West could have led a singleton heart and, pay no attention to the fact that the 6 of hearts is still missing. East might just be randomizing their heart spots or whatever for some reason. So they could still have the 6 of hearts. So we should definitely ruff this trick high. West follows with the 6, which I think in practice probably wouldn't happen, but for the sake of this deal, they're trying to give us a little bit of a red herring. So we play low. And I think it probably is correct to pull a round of trumps, right? And we should cash a high trump from our hand, because if we waste the queen of spades immediately, then as we're ruffing clubs in north, someone might be able to over ruff, or ruff in front of us, for example, if West is short in clubs. And this will let us know a little bit more about the distributions that we're trying to play for in terms of making our contract. If both opponents follow to the spade, we can still decide on, do we want to play this hand as a cross ruff by ruffing clubs and dummy? Do we want to pull the second trump and then test to see if the clubs split 4-3 before hoping for some sort of alternative plan. But as we pull a trump, East shows out on this trick, and this isn't necessarily bad news for us yet. We kind of expected, especially with 6-2 hearts, that East would have a ton of shape for their 4-heart bid here coming into this auction. So East having a spade void, not that surprising. Again, we're still kind of primed and ready to go after this plan of cross-reffing the clubs and diamonds, or cross-reffing clubs and hearts, or whatever, to score enough tricks. And so we should start out by, testing the clubs. I mean, if clubs are 4-3, once again, we can just rough the club suit good. We only need 2 roughs and dummy, so we could go ace of clubs, rough a club. Let's say, for example, cross back to our hand in spades, rough another club, presumably setting up the club suit. We go ace of diamonds, diamond rough, pull the last 2 trumps, and all the clubs are high. And I think this would be a very reasonable attempt at the table, and probably good enough to make the contract fairly often. The fact that East has turned up with a spade void makes it way more likely that they have 3 or 4 clubs. That would give them 6-4-3 or 6-3-4 in those 2 suits. Hey, Marksman. Hey, PJF. How's it going? But, and I think this is probably an interesting point. When we're trying to test to see if a suit splits, if we have an odd number of cards in that suit, it can be a little bit challenging to find out if the suit is actually breaking, right? Imagine we had ace-king 6th of clubs opposite a singleton. Well, we could play ace-king of clubs and then rough a club, and that would let us know if the suit's 3-3, but of course we're risking an over-rough on that 3rd round of clubs. I mean, I'm not talking about this specific hand, but just in general. And of course, if we played ace of clubs and roughed a club, we wouldn't then know if we need to rough another club to set up the suit, or if the suit has already been set up because the suit's splitting 3-3. But with an even number of cards in the suit, we actually can kind of like protect against overroughs and see if the suit is breaking by just starting to rough the suit early. So when we go ace of clubs on the next trick and rough a club, now when we come back to our hand and rough another club, we'll know if the suit has been set up already. So we get to this position and we've basically done everything right. And like I said, we could totally play spade over, rough a club, hope that the suit is splitting. If it does, we can go ace of diamonds, diamond rough back to hand, pull the rest of the trumps, and we claim. The issue with this is that we can actually guard against like a small extra chance, and this is the main point of this hand, where like if you get to the spot and you just go like spade to the 10 and rough a club, and then get back to hand somehow, ace of diamonds, diamond rough, you're basically hoping that the clubs had split 4-2 or 4-3. They didn't. They were 5-2. You're going to go down. But this is like a pretty good attempt on the deal. But when we back up, we realize that we have actually like a little bit of an extra chance here to protect against this bad club split, where in this position we can come back to our hand with a heart rough instead of pulling a second round of trumps. And now when we lead a club, West roughs in, we over rough with a queen, and here would be like the appropriate time to now like pause and think, right? We've done everything right. We've tried to protect against 2-1 spades. They were 3-0. We tried to protect against 4-3 clubs. They're 5-2. How can we possibly make the hand from here? Well, now if we start running our trumps, we realize that this like guard squeeze thing is actually going to work against East. So we play a spade to the king, cash the 10 of spades, and now we're down to this 4-card end position. We know East for a fact must have the ace of hearts in hand. We know East for a fact must have 2 more clubs in hand. So they have only 1 diamond. And when we cash our next spade, we come down to this 3-card ending where, again, East still must save that ace of hearts. They must still save that doubleton club, so they have to pitch their diamond. When it turns out to be a diamond honor, we now have a finessable diamond position. So we can cash the club king, pitching the king of hearts, take the diamond finesse, and the guard squeeze has worked out. So hopefully that was like a little bit of a cleaner explanation than my like 35-minute tank or whatever I was doing yesterday. But that's probably how we should have gone about solving this problem. So we got one more to go. We're in 6 clubs. Please no more guard squeezes. I'm now looking at this ace-10 of hearts and thinking guard squeeze. All right, we're in 6 clubs. No bidding. So no one bids spades, notably, and the opponents have 9 spades. Please no 5-2 club break on this deal. I think we could handle a 5-2 club split, I'm pretty sure. All right, king of spades holds trick 1. And they continue the ace of spades. Well, we better ruff. Okay. So if diamonds split, obviously we're in great shape. Okay, let's rough this and pull trumps, and then we'll think after we've cashed a couple of diamonds as well. I mean, maybe diamonds are 5-1, and that'll make things easy. We don't need to spend a ton of time thinking about the remainder of the card layouts. So pull trumps. Great, we pulled trumps. Let's test the diamond suit. Okay, diamonds are 5-1. Well, this is going to make things a little bit easier for us to at least think about, right? So, I mean, for whatever reason, this hand feels a lot easier than the previous one. And I think I mentioned this at the very start, which is like, now that we know diamonds are 5-1, it's a lot easier to like plan the rest of the play. It feels very natural to me to run the clubs pitching a heart and then planning on pitching a diamond on the last club. So what's the end position going to look like? Well, West is going to have to keep 2 diamonds. So they're either going to come down to 1 heart or 1 spade. If they come down to 1 spade, then maybe we've executed a guard squeeze. We could then cross to the diamond queen and take a heart finesse. If they come down to 1 heart, they no longer have hearts guarded, and they also no longer have spades guarded, so when we play a diamond to the queen, East gets squeezed in the major suits. That seems like a pretty clear plan, and, you know, kind of an easy attempt at this one. Now, if both opponents had followed to 2 rounds of diamonds, I would have no idea what to do. I guess I would play 4 rounds of clubs throwing a heart, and then play a 5th club and maybe pitch a spade or something, playing for a red suit squeeze. But now that we know West has 5 diamonds, this is gonna be a fairly straightforward guard squeeze, which is like, well, I guess it's not really a guard squeeze, right? There's this weird element that like East might actually get squeezed in the majors at the end. Anyway, let's make sure we count what's going on. East has discarded a heart on this trick. And another heart. There's 1 diamond discard, so now West can't pitch any more diamonds. They're throwing a lot of hearts. There's a spade pitch. There's a second spade pitch. Now in the last club, West throws a 3rd spade, so we can pitch a diamond. East throws a 4th spade, so that is... only one of them has spades left. Anyway, there's only 1 spade remaining. Okay, so now we can cash the 4 spades and play a spade to the ace, or heart to the ace, and make 6 clubs. See, that wasn't so hard. I don't know, 35 gave me a lot of trouble. I guess I just didn't really see the idea for quite some time.